Yo, what up? It's the Melanated Anime Club. We're back, and we got Mylon this week. What's up, y'all?
What up, man?
What up, everybody?
How is everyone?
We're doing all right over here. We hope y'all are doing great. Hope y'all are trickling in. This is it's kind of like a slightly overcast Mother's Day here in LA.
Shout out to all the mothers.
Like in Chicago. But yeah, shout out to your moms, to your future baby moms.
Shout out to your mother, yo. Word to your mother, yo.
Spiritual mamas. We adopted
moms.
you and helped carry you, mamas. Any of them, all of y'all.
Big
we
mamas.
got y'all today. Yeah, big moms.
Big mamas.
Big moms, for sure.
Shout out to big mamas. Shout out to two moms and those blessed children. Get two moms today. The world's awesome when you let it be.
All right, but one person that does not know their mom as well as they should is our antagonist or our protagonist, Monkey D. Luffy, and that's my awkward transition into. Dude, every time, and every time we play that, we just know that we're that much closer to Sogeking coming back to the story. So
that's all I want. I've been saying this for weeks,
everyone
months, years. That's
years.
all I want.
Yeah, I know.
Soon it'll be a decade.
Yeah, Luffy got awakened, so it's time for Sogeking to come back.
It's everyone. Like the top tier got awakened this whole arc.
Yeah,
Like, we can probably do a little bit more, but it's like next tier now.
Well, it's like we're tapping into like Luffy taking what he's got and then working what he's learned into it as we learn this chapter. It was a wild chapter, honestly, kind of slow compared to the last couple ones that we've gotten.
So slow. I almost hated it.
But we got a little bit of Kaido backstory. We got a little bit of young Momo backstory. We got a little bit of the final moments of the Kozuki clan, but from Orochi's perspective. It was a little slow, but it was interesting because it was a unique point of view. And we got to see Denjiro finally do something, so that was fun. Was that Denjiro?
Yeah, that was Denjiro. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
That's what I thought. He just didn't really do much. Like all the other samurai had their moments. You know what I mean? Denjiro.
He's been gone for.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
is it Denjiro or Denjiro?
Close enough.
I believe it's
Denjiro.
If we're gonna get like technical with it, but Denjiro is cool.
Yeah.
I can't speak with the correct accent, so I just say close enough.
Yeah, we're not like friend and fan of the Melanated Anime Club, Michael B. Jordan, who says Naruto. So
no, he says Naruto.
Naruto.
Right.
You said it right. I tried to say it wrong, and
it's a reflex for you to say it right. Me,
you couldn't.
I could do Naruto off the gate. Just chaotic.
Naruto.
It's not.
I can't. It feels so weird. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually had to miss 2 weeks ago when there was the last big action moment in the One Piece battle between Kaido and Luffy.
Still that moment, effectively.
No, it was.
Me and Matt went over it. It was
fair. I mean, we haven't gotten that far away from it.
No, I mean, it's like that big ass fist is still there. You did admit, I won't repeat it. It's this week. That big fist is right there. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and Kaido's like, you ain't gonna hit me with that. And Luffy's like, watch me. So it's gonna be fun.
Right. Yeah, it's like I'm just waiting because I don't want to hit everyone else. Luffy's like, no, this is going to hit you. I'm going to fist the heck out of you.
And Momo's about to have that internal monologue moment where he's about to. But I do think we're gonna have a moment with Momo when he finally leaves his dragon form, where he's gonna be like that gone. I'm a grown ass man now when he comes out of it. So
that clone,
yeah, he's going to be immediately awkward afterwards because everyone's going to be like, oh, damn. He's like, oh, no, I'm not.
He's going to be like, oh, shit, he's hot. He's like, I'm a child.
Right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna get that. And then we're gonna have the weird moment when he tries to go into Robin or Nami or any gifted woman in the series, and then it's going to be a big problem because he's probably going to get smacked really hard.
I love how you just said gifted woman.
Yeah, like Shinobu and Big Mom,
Yeah, they are likely also gifted, but
those aren't the gifts you were talking about.
I could have been, because maybe I said she's on her way down, much like her gifts.
Wow.
All right. Well,
yeah,
okay.
She's
all right.
I gotta scroll real quick. I just set my mouse back for repair, so I'm not as quick on that as I was. What's that, Mylon?
You do know you finna crack the 100 mark. I don't think I haven't lost count. You do know you finna crack the 100.
I'm pretty sure you lost count. I'm pretty sure.
No, you're at 95. I just want you to know you're at 95. Yeah,
that's a real round number to be. That's a real round number.
Well, it was 94 up until now. So I mean,
what you gonna do for the centennial, right? What you gonna do for the 100th?
I can't predict my moments. They are gifts to you all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, he said.
But on that moment, okay. Question: Flame Dragon Torch. Kaido is busted out another move we've not seen before. Further solidifying how this guy is just different. But I don't think this is drawn in the same way that fire is drawn when it's off of Luffy. So I want to say, because he's been talking about how hockey has been that is the deciding factor. Is this him covering himself in hockey and calling it
hockey
flames?
He does get darker, and it is noticeably drawn.
Yeah,
I was thinking more. It was more like blue flame.
See, I was thinking
blue flame, he's burning hotter.
Yeah.
And his dragon is blue, so
true.
He's kind of. I don't know.
I don't know. It might think because he's burnt his. I don't. It's the hockey is supposed to be the whole thing. He's the strongest beast, what have you. He is a beast. I also have because 2 chapters ago he was just going off with all these different moves to just the brand new. Yeah. And he couldn't. So now he's just all right, cool. I just did my whole big bad villain speech. Hockey is the king. Here is me in my big form with just all the hockey. You might have to do a hybrid thing, but I think this is just an interesting take, given we haven't seen him do much outside of the blast breath.
Actually, that kind of makes me think of something if this ends up being a blue flame. You know who else is on Wano with the blue flame?
Marco,
your boy Marco. So there might be a good we've both been touched by Whitebeard type of folks because weren't they the whole rock situation?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get back to the whole God Valley thing at some point because even if we go to Elbaf next, they got to get to God Valley. God Valley has to get revealed at some point between now and then.
It does.
And you got to learn more about rocks and all that shit. Sword is still kind of doing their thing. So it's just
those are
we still got Reverie. We
still haven't got the clear results of who allegedly died, who got captured, all of that. We just know someone did.
We still have Zheryk to bring up and dig into.
Yeah, and then a lot of people
also just recently featured in the anime.
Yeah, one of the things everyone's been saying that Blackbeard is a Zheryk is kind of an argument, truly, but. Another argument I've been saying is Shanks is Zheryk as well. So it's just either way could be option.
How is Shanks Zheryk? That's an interesting one.
Well, what's Shanks' real name?
Shanks.
Cool. So that's what I'm saying. They never gave Shanks a real first or last name. Blackbeard is Marshall Teach, but at the same time, someone can change their name, much like Portgas the Ace did. So it'll be just real interesting.
Crocodile's name was.
I can't remember.
I don't think we ever got. Do we ever get it?
But no, that is a good point. I can't think.
It's just there's a lot of things about people that have disappeared. Why does Shanks have his influence with the Gorosei in the first place? A lot of really interesting things that come into play here. And again,
it be a whole inherited will type of thing, so it's passed on.
I mean, it could be.
Much like Killer Boy. Yeah.
Some could even argue that Zheryk could be a Will of D and that Luffy could be a Zheryk because we don't know who the fuck his mom is. Shout out to the moms.
Shout out to moms.
Shout out to mom.
I love how we bring it back. Yes.
It's true. How many moms are actually active in One Piece if you think about it? Big Mom.
Yeah, Big Mom is pretty much
she's the mom.
Is
the
biggest,
mom. The biggest mom for sure.
Robin?
Nami's mom
gone.
Died.
Yeah, she died, but like that, I think that might be the best representation of a mother in the whole series.
True.
She died for her kids.
True. Yeah.
Belmere, that's her name.
Belmere,
Shout out to Belmere, all the moms.
Sanji's mom, you could say. But still.
Yeah, she sacrificed and made sure he was sweet. And yeah,
a Lunarian saved, or like much. I think she's a Lunarian.
We still don't know that.
We still don't know.
Like it could have been a thing where they just put Lunarian DNA in there because
okay.
Judge was weird like that. Judge was weird like that.
He was. I love this.
Sora,
flashback Sora. Again. Oh God, I'm not melting. Gum, rising, like they're both they're doing the thing, and then the flashback happens, and it's like this is known as Rio. You call it hockey, old man, and then we get that spread right there. This is Conqueror's hockey against Conqueror's hockey.
Yeah, when this gets colorized, it's gonna be nice.
This is insane.
It's just that thing again with it's the same situation as with Doflamingo. Like same
where
flash of power in the air.
Flash of Conqueror's hockey. Yeah.
Who's gonna pass who?
Yeah. This is because this is a lot higher version because that was they both had Conqueror's hockey, but this is like awakened Conqueror's hockey because I don't know, maybe it's different. That's all I'm saying.
You know what I'm thinking though? We haven't seen this firsthand yet, right? But we know when like great powers clash, especially if they have conquerors, that they will leave a permanent mark on the island. So that might be something with this like Onigashima Wano thing. Because you remember when not Fujitora, when Magma Man and Iceberg fought each other and they turned it into Punk Hazard. I'm forgetting their names right now.
Akainu.
When Magma and Ice came together to form Punk Hazard, we get it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like,
Iceberg is an actual person.
I said Iceberg. Thank you very much.
You did.
He turned into a bird. Yes, out of ice. That was like his attack, pheasant beak or whatever. They're based off of the three things. No, it's the monkey.
It's a he told me. Kuzan.
That's Kuzan. Kuzan. Aokiji. There we go.
Yeah, that's actually Magma versus Iceberg.
Yeah, that's my. Those are the new Pokemon, by the way. Magma versus Iceberg.
Oh God!
All right.
He's got a big old fist in his mouth. That's it. It went from one frame being like kind of open to the next frame. It's just more fist in his mouth, and then it's just the explosion, and then a cut. What?
Nothing.
Just the way you phrased that was interesting. That's all.
Yeah.
That's just how he's been doing it the past couple of days. It's fine.
No, I'm aware. He's all about that fist in the mouth.
Okay, so just quick side note. I'm looking at these panels once again, and can we just acknowledge how big this fist is? Like,
no, it's huge.
It's the size of all.
It's the size of Onigashima. It's the size of Onigashima.
Scale of it. Like it's bigger than Kaido in his dragon form, which is
exactly.
Huge.
It's a huge ass fist. Give it respect.
Like it makes no sense. Like
none. The whole setup is stupid. Last week he's just holding on to the chest. and it's just extending, and Kaido's doing like let go.
It is. He's
still see him.
Kaido is like Nuck if you buck with this giant ass fist.
It's just Knuckles.
He's looking up at a fist bigger than him, and Kaido's just like, Nuck if you buck, let's do this. Like he is definitely Kaido was with the shits on this one for sure.
Like I just can't ignore how big this fist is.
Thank you. That's all I was saying. It's a
how
big
this Luffy's
fist.
We can only talk about big fist.
You said that his only move is to just do a big fist. You said it, Wes.
I did.
You said it.
Okay.
There's only so many times. Listen, there's only so many times we can talk about big fists on Mother's Day. All right.
Okay. One.
Think about the mothers. Shout out to the mothers. What's up,
man? Think about the mothers.
Right. Shout out to the mothers as always.
Would your mother want you to be talking about a big fist on Mother's Day? Think of right.
Would your mother big ass fist in your mouth, Matt? In your mouth.
I'm not talking about Mother's Day. It's fine.
If I got hit with that big ass fist, probably. Like I'm not sure what your.
My mom used to watch Card Captors with me. She knows the vibes.
Wait, your mom used to watch what?
Card Captors with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we need to focus and bring it back to what brought us here, and that is Sogeking, aka
Usopp.
Help me, Usopp, because he comes back and he's been drenched.
Yo, wait. You forget.
Look,
it's one thing to forget a character that hasn't shown up in like 300 or 400 chapters.
But
it's
the one
another
that's right
one
there.
To forget a core member of the crew. Oh, it's right in your house. You got it.
It's right there in my face. In my face.
Yes. In your face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Besides the point, y'all will get there at some point in your futures. Stop hating. It's just all the water's there, and now we're going forward.
I didn't mean to hit that. I don't know what happened.
I've been saying.
He
just fed up. He just been cut it all together.
I don't know what happened there.
Too much fisting. We're done. And then it says like it goes smoothly into the flashback, and everyone is just like, so much is going on. They're coming back, and it's just like, this is what happened. I did like this. What happened afterward? Show us a little. But then this is like my favorite part, and it was confirmed. We were saying it the whole time. The daimyo were turned into numbers. There they are.
I mean, I don't think we can confirm that just from this panel, man.
What?
I mean, I get the implication. I get
the implication. We're seeing them, but like, I don't think that like
you need to see them take
assume that they're numbers.
We need to see them like Like they said, the people of Ebisu Town ate the scraps, but we haven't seen them actually do it yet. You know what I mean? Because we also remember in another flashback when they showed Yamato doing their thing that the samurai didn't have to eat, right? Like that was like a whole thing that they did.
It was a thing for them. Yeah.
I don't buy that quite yet. There's a lot of nebulism, but that's the way Oda writes.
So it feels like Oda's just putting it in our face every single time. It's like these are numbers.
No. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if like
be overt like that at times without like us noticing, but at the same time, like it doesn't fit to me.
I mean, I think like the numbers so far that we've seen have all have like definitive laugh styles, right? And one of the big things that they've been doing on this is like the smiles and how they affect people's laughs. The point where Killer, another member of the Worst Generation, pretty much lost his whole sense of self because he was forced to laugh and he hated his laugh. So I think that if we get something in the next chapter or two where we see the daimyo and we see their laughs being like jinka jinka or whatever the fuck their dumbass laughs were, like if we start seeing something that's like that, then maybe I'll buy into it a little bit more. But I think this might be yet another like, all of the nerds that care about this are going to pay attention to this while this other thing is going on that Oda's been doing all throughout Wano. Again, if that toad that Uso Hachi had at the beginning does not come back, that toad oil, If there's not some kind of toad oil thing that comes in, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Maybe. But I doubt.
What would it do?
I'm not entirely sure because that was the thing. Lutop said it could use it for anything, so it could come in and literally just save the moment when it needs it to.
Lutop's lies become truth.
Yeah, it just happened.
Like it could be the cure. It could be the cure for like any of this random shit that they're dealing with right now. So
that's true.
I don't know. And then they also teased that they were going to learn how to use Sea Prism Stone at the beginning of this chapter. That Frankie was learning that. So
they did.
Didn't they say he go to the construction workers and all that shit and did his whole quest to get the blueprints and get the whole thing to get his blueprints and had to learn it?
Oh, you
were artisans with Sea Prism Stone, and that's like really the only place they know how to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think there's some other fun threads that are in there for the rest of the crew after we get past the fight and the escape from Wano section.
And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of glossed over this whole flashback thing because I'm done with Orochi.
Yeah. That sounds like you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I read the whole thing, and it was just like, all right, we're just seeing, we're just getting this.
It's historical.
They're reaffirming how much of a dick Orochi is, and they're doing it for a reason.
The build up.
A few pages later, we're back in Nagashima, and that Sea Prism Stone just happened to wiggle out, and now
the last head has been cut.
Yeah, and I mean, I still don't think that this is the final Orochi thing. I think he's gonna.
Really?
I don't know.
Even with the balloon, even with the lantern saying, "I wish Orochi would go away."
I think all of those lanterns are gonna get up to Momonosuke. He's gonna see them, and that's what's gonna give him his like, I have what it needs to take to save my people.
You're probably right. That's how they ended this chapter.
No, that's how they ended the chapter. But the specific lantern was right after the head was caught, and then you see Denjiro. I think he's done.
I mean, the lanterns were the wishes of the people. They have nothing to do with what's going on in that sword battle, or anything that's going on with.
Then why is it there? That's confusing.
It's just I don't think it's confusing. I think it's foreshadowing. It's leaving you with more to come watch the next.
I mean, it does say, "I wish Orochi would go away."
Not that I wish he was dead. I wish he would go away. So,
all right. I'm
just saying, I don't buy anything until we see it anymore in this in this fucking manga.
I don't know. We see two flaming dragons in this chapter, and one of them gets their head cut off. I feel like that's very definitive.
And it's at the moment where they're in the sky doing their like ultimate things to each other above. It just seems too much on the nose for me.
Just Orochi gets a Hydra gets their head cut off 8 times. I believe we've seen it only getting cut off 4, maybe 6 times. So I think we still need to see more. I don't know. Just we've seen his head get cut off and him show back up more than once.
Right. True.
And it wasn't like Denjiro. It wasn't like Denjiro was using like a black blade or anything special. It just looked like he just came in and just like.
Okay, I mean, but last time we saw his head like this drop off, he did come back. But that was the first time. Is this the last time?
Did he get his head? I thought he got his head cut off like in the flashback. I thought Odin got him once and then Kaido was like, maybe I'm confusing it with something else.
No. Kaido cut it off right at the beginning of the banquet. Then later the Akazai samurai, like a bunch of them cut off his heads like in a courtyard or something. He was gone again. And then now,
and I thought one was
the third time we've seen it.
The third time.
So I thought
I could have swore there was one more in the flashback.
Yeah, like when he first showed his heads to, like I feel like someone because they wanted to show like cut one away to come back or something like that.
No, because I thought they showed Odin like cutting his head away and then him being like, okay, cool, like I'll save my people. And then Orochi came back up and then Kaido was with him because I thought it was before he left, and that's part of why he left.
No,
it's all confusing, man. It's been so long. This has literally been like 2 years worth of Wano backstory in real life at this point. So
I remember. I'll say
if we get some things mixed up and confused, we get some things mixed up and confused. That's how it goes. But let's not sit on here too long. It is Mother's Day. I do need to call my mom, my sisters, and various people. West Coast to Central time zone differences. Just I ain't waking up that much earlier for all this. So I still got to do all that stuff. But I do want to talk about some other stuff before we jump in. Before we get away from manga completely, there was no new My Hero Academia the last 2 weeks. Looks like it's taking another week off this week, but we'll be back next week. But I have caught up with Sakamoto Days, and I don't know if anyone other than Matt is still reading that, but
I am reading.
It's getting weird. The VR glitch thing that's going on right now.
That VR thing is so amazing, and then the fact that the guy can hear the data transmissions.
And so he has to use Future Sight so he can have the
he
time
uses
to
Future Sight on the other guy to be able to process
on his partner.
I thought that was a brilliant move, honestly.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, and I've been reading a lot of Mashal. I'm caught up with Mashal too, and Mashal is also it's going really great. It's doing a real fun thing of like, all right, like we're clearly building up to the last battle. You know, the big bad guy's trying to take over the universe. Mashal's the guy who could probably stop him. We just got the reveal that Mashal is actually his youngest kid. And now he has to fight what we thought was having to fight like the mid-level tiered bosses. We're now finding out he's gonna have to fight his brothers. It's all dumb, and like in this world of magic, he just guys like they're gonna reveal. I'm pretty sure at the end they're gonna reveal it's like he has muscle magic or some shit like that. But like he's just like so strong, so fast. He had this fight that he was gonna like clearly lose. It was like a triple line, super strong user that was like his brother that was slightly older than him. The badass everyone's scared of in like the school, and he's like, oh okay, I guess I gotta take this seriously. I'm gonna take off my wristbands. They're like, are you really doing the weight training that's gonna do anything? And they drop, and then like the ground shoots up like 20 feet in the air because of like how heavy they are. And the magicians are just like, what the fuck? Like it's just funny. These like the moment where they're all like, yeah, and I'm unlimited. I have unlimited power. No one can touch me. And then Mashal's just like, bink, and they're like, what the fuck? Like it's you know what it is, but the side characters starting to step up. It's everything you want in a good anime. It's like all the best parts of Yu Yu Hakusho, but through a filter of One Punch Man's like sense of humor. It's great.
You know what I started reading this week, and a friend recommended it to me. It's a funny little isekai. It's called The Red Ranger Ends Up in Another World, where they take a Super Sentai member. And the Red Ranger, like in the first chapter, like him and his team are fighting this great evil. He uses this fire red burning punch or something, and then ends up in another world where he's like an adventurer and is like exploring dungeons and shit. And I just like the parallels between it. It's just so funny. Like it's just light, and I really enjoy it. It's a ridiculous premise, and I love ridiculous premises.
For sure. All right. So I think we're probably good to step away from manga and the anime world. And you know what? Talking about like parallels and seeing how things work together before we make this transition, I want to do a quick parallel that if you got it, it's time to roll it, load it, spark it, load it up, all that good stuff, because it's time for our world famous group puff.
First time
everything has to be in threes. Everything has to be in threes. Everything has to
Okay, Mr. Rule of Three.
Yeah.
Just like get me teethed out my mind.
That took me a second. My wife got me a piece that I needed for my electronic dab rig for my birthday, so I've been back on the game. So the reason I'm talking about different parallels and moving to different universes and things like that is because everyone in this room has seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and we're about to talk about it. So if you have not watched it, our singular viewer right now, I'm gonna kindly ask that you mute us until I wave my hands like this, and then you can come back in and we'll stop talking about Marvel and the Multiverse spoilers. So this is your spoiler. This is your spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Leak alert.
I'm gonna make a sign that I'm gonna make one that says
mute.
Yeah, I'll make sure we
spoiling
do that
in process. That's what you. It should be spoiling in process.
True.
So let's go.
We're gonna talk our stuff. Okay. I love the movie WandaVision.
Man, I love WandaVision in the Multiverse of Madness.
That was it. Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
For real.
I enjoyed Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It was a really good movie.
Honestly,
I'm giving that man more credit.
Honestly, it was a lot of fun to watch the America Chavez show. Easily the second best part of the movie. Elizabeth Olsen acting her ass off, but America Chavez having me literally going, I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with this character next.
True.
Very true. Really setting up Young Avengers, like
they really are. Yeah.
And that's like my one complaint was that they just kind of threw her into the story. They didn't really give her much of a backstory, and the backstory they did give her didn't make any sense based on the character that we were seeing.
She's just from another universe. And
I can get you from another universe where she was raised by two moms on an idyllic, peaceful, almost hippie-like planet. I can get that, but when she their first line is like, "Yo, Doctor Strange, sup, dude?" Is like that doesn't match up.
Doesn't necessarily match up.
Like if someone that's jumping through different
universes, it seems that she's been hopping around for a while.
Right, like the ability to first rule 1, rule 2, get food.
Right. Where she's deep enough to know that they don't expect you know anything, and just be like, "What up?" Though completely hitting up like meme references from 4 years ago.
That's what I got from it.
It is adaptation. It is,
and that's a further depth on her that they kind of touched on when she's like, "Yeah, I don't dream," and that kind of established her as like she's the only version of her in all the universes. Versus Wanda, who was a Nexus being who had multiple versions. A lot of like head trip questions and moments throughout the whole thing. So let's jump into it, because I know that like Wanda was the one that was like, again, I can say here all day that Elizabeth Olsen acted her ass off, right?
Like going into this, I did not expect her to be the quote unquote villain, but like I loved it throughout. Like, and then seeing Sam Raimi's horror just sprinkles of horror through there. It was so good. So good.
Horror and comedy.
Yeah,
go ahead. What I really got from it was like the continuation of the last peak of Wanda when she was reading the Darkhold. Like seeing how it just manifested in her head again. Cool. I'm finna get my kids. Like it was just like the whole vibe through the whole thing. Like Wanda still isn't over something. Like in WandaVision, she was tackling some things. Like and this, it was like,
let's be real.
It was like the heroes just completely like left her alone to just keep inversing in the Darkhold, and then to come to find out, like when Doctor Strange pull up, she lost. I didn't say a name, did I? No.
Bro, okay.
All right. Right?
So when that moment happened, I had a lot of thoughts, like in that first time when you see this, and I felt like it happened too soon, like in the movie. Like, they could have teased that more. But looking back on it, they did it at the right time. The hints were there when they started fighting the eyeball monster, and you saw the runes pop up.
Yeah, the runes.
That was just enough. That was just enough teasing for you to be like, all right, they gave us enough of this. And when you saw it when they killed him in the dream, like, okay, this is enough. Like, I get it now. But at first, I had the thought process of like, damn, she's the bad guy. The way she snapped like this, it took away everything she learned in WandaVision, right? It erased the whole process of that. But
did it though?
It did not. No,
right.
As we watch it later, I kind of had the question of like, she's going through all those universes, and like not one of them does she give a fuck about Vision anymore. And so in my mind, she's come to terms with that, and the whole WandaVision with her processing the grief of losing a partner. That's what WandaVision was, and now it's the grief of losing a child or losing your children. And so it's like it's a different thing. So we watch someone lose their husband, and now we're watching someone lose their kids. And like when they say she's losing everything, she's losing everything. And Wanda historically losing everything. There's a moment later in the movie, we'll get there, I'm sure, but I'm gonna just kind of jump there because we're talking about Wanda. The fact that we got to see a Professor X and Wanda Maximoff moment.
Yeah,
I had to like whisper over the door and be like, "Yo, she originally was an X-Men. Like this moment is fucking dope."
That is. I forgot about that. Yeah,
and not only that, but like when they had when Charles went into her mind and had the, Days of Future Past, the Charles Xavier moments he has when he's in someone's mind,
where he can walk and everything.
He can walk and everything. I fucking popped so hard.
That was
oh my god, yeah, it was so great. And then just like the little hints that were like peppered in throughout, like when we first see Charles Xavier, we have the old X-Men theme song like playing subtly in the background.
So playing,
and I geeked out so hard.
When he came out in the yellow hover chair, bro.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
In the green suit.
Yes.
That's the same way.
Yes.
But like on top of that, it was dope to see, the animation X-Men in here. I thought it was super dope the way they did the whole Illuminati thing. So we'll talk about this now.
True.
Historically, the Illuminati, I believe, was Namor the Submariner, Reed Richards, Professor X, Iron Man was in there. T'Challa was in there for a moment, but then T'Challa was like, I want no part of this because secret meetings like this have never been good for my people. Which was a great storyline in itself. But they did their own take on this, and I thought it was fantastic. Pun intended. So it was pretty cool because they start off by showing the clip that they showed in the trailers. If you watch the first What If episode, we saw the Captain America shield with the Union Jack on it. Then they show what's her name, Haley Atwell. They got the actual actress to play Captain Carter, and she was fantastic. It was a great.
She was great.
And then right next to it, we saw Monica Rambeau, so the other woman at the beginning of Captain Marvel. Her black friend, if you will, if that's how you remember her. She's the one that jumped into the plane instead of Carol, and then apparently she got the powers of Marvel. So I love that little like twist, and she was just like even less take a shit. Like I want to see more of that happen. Marvel.
She was just like nah.
And for what it's worth, I didn't dislike the current mainstream, Miss Marvel. I didn't dislike her as much as a lot of people did.
It's just a different energy.
But I did like the new one better. And then
every single statement she had a coda of yes, I want the smoke. Just do something. Please do it.
She's just like, man, look, it's another strain. Fuck it.
Let's go.
Fuck it. It was more of I dare you. It was more I dare you.
It's I believe it's more of a I wish you would. If I'm not mistaken.
If we're going to be vernacularly accurate, yes, it was much more of a I wish you would. I wish.
Please, I'm begging you. Yeah, it's one of them.
Please.
But we're going to move on to the next member of the Illuminati. And then they brought in from the very shitty Hulu show from the Inhumans, Black Bolt. Now, Black Bolt is dope. I love the comics. I love the story.
They gave his comic accurate suit, which
was missing from the show for sure. And he has the power to speak. They did get to show off his power when they did the execution of the Old Strain. When he's just like, I'm sorry. That was dope. A lot cooler than it was in the show. Again, a lot cooler than it was on the show. And then it was like, again, one of my favorite comic book characters, super obscure. They did him justice. They gave everyone there the full costumes. And speaking of everyone in the full costumes, the internet's wish of the last at least 4 years, we got Jim Halpert himself, John Krasinski, coming in as Mr. Fantastic. Looking buff as fuck, and honestly, the little bit of moments that they had him do Mr. Fantastic stuff, it didn't look bad. I remember I was just happy it wasn't the 2004 dude, because that dude was fired.
I wanted more. I wanted so much more Reed Richards.
They only gave you the sound. That's it. You just got the sound. And then the death.
We got the teases.
We got the
teases. They're like, oh, you're in the Baxter building and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, the Ultron bots. And it was just like, oh. Yeah. And then to finally see him.
Him stretching into there to take on Wanda. But they do show him die.
They show him trying to stretch out to reach her, and then it turned into
He unraveled. She unraveled.
Wild.
He melted, dude. That was so wild. I forgot about it.
I really enjoyed this nod to a comic event that happened. Like when Reed Richards is talking about incursions and bringing that up, and how Doctor Strange of their universe was the one that caused an incursion. It was really funny to me, and it made me laugh because in the comics when the Ultimate Universe and the mainline universe
who did
collided, it was Reed Richards that started.
It's almost always Reed Richards.
Yeah. It's always Reed. It's always Reed. So is that how?
And plus, I've been rewatching Venture Brothers, so like I've been seeing the Venture Brothers version of Reed Richards, and it's so funny. It just makes it just all comes full circle.
I do like how this was introduced in Illuminati and opens the door for it to be in 616, which is another thing.
Yeah,
that's the accuracy of the naming of the universes to make the current one 616, and which is a continuation of it being mentioned from the last Raimi movie, No Way Home.
Mysterio.
Spider-Man.
Mysterio,
and he's
Mysterio
like, I'm from the 638.
Far From Home.
Right.
Far From Home.
He came out and said
and I come to the 616, and we're just like, what? Huh? So
so
that
he
was
confirmed it.
But it's also funny because it's inaccurate from the comics. The comic books are the original 616. In the comics, they've actually labeled the MCU as 1388, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
So it's very funny. That like none of it matters. And
honestly, it doesn't. But it's just funny little nods that we can like poke.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that's funniest to me is none of them are saying, "Oh no, we're Universe 1." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
no, everybody knows.
We're Universe Prime. Absolutely, this is us. Yeah.
Everybody seems to have the consensus. Yeah, we're not from. Yeah, we know. I love the self identity. Everybody's like, yeah, no, y'all 616. No, we. Yeah, no. No. Yeah. No.
I
do completely different stuff
and absorbed.
Well, I think that's like another fun thing about like if you want to think about the universe building and all of that, the multiverse building, if you will. In our universe, everyone is scared of this, right? We have our theories. Oh, we don't touch that, but over there, the science was like, oh, we know all about multiverse. Yeah, we were expecting you this day.
Yeah, that's like what's right. Mordo saying that I was waiting for this day. I was just like, this is weird. Yeah. Of course he knows everything.
If our Strange had gotten, I mean, there's so many cool things like the Strange that we saw at the end, the final battle Strange. That was the Dark Strange from the What If series, right? Like, we all agree.
Yeah, more or less.
The vibe.
Yeah, at least close enough.
Yeah. So it was just like really cool because there was a lot of different moments that were callbacks to the What If series. So, Scarlet Witch kind of losing her shit. We all remember the zombie episode.
Yeah.
And when she killed, so there's a lot of like
Xavier. She was a zombie.
Okay, I'm talking about the What If episode, not the actual comic.
Oh, not the movie. Yeah. No, not the comic. I'm talking. Yeah.
Xavier wasn't in the What If, was he?
No. Xavier was not. He was in Multiverse of Madness, killed by a zombie.
No, Wanda snapped his neck in the dream world. Freddy Krueger shit. Also, let's talk about all the tributes to all of the other horror movies in this. There's that sequence where America and Strange are like running through the dimensions, and Wanda's straight up like broken leg, carry blood down her face. Yeah. She's like moving like she's like Jason Voorhees. Like, you know what I mean? They straight up made her like a horror movie. Like when she starts playing with the water, doing the brulee trick from One Piece. Going through the reflections in the Mirrorverse. You remember that?
Right. Yeah.
But like even that like jump scare where she puts her hand, like all of that shit, that's all like classic.
It is classic. Wow.
It feels like classic stalker horror. Like when they're all in the room and the doors close and they're like, where is she? Like that was such a classic like 80s horror film. The one guy in the universe, the Pizza Papa who kept on punching himself. That's an Evil Dead reference.
Remember when she popped out remember she popped out the reflection on on the rings? That was the one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When she started twitching out the
twitching was like I saw that was like there's a lot. I did not see that.
I also appreciated the nod to Mount Wundagore and having that actually be like a two
Manticore.
Oh my god! Like, when they first said Wundagore, I was like, "What the fuck? We're going to Wundagore? Yeah. We're getting Wundagore in this movie?" I was like, "What version of Wundagore are we getting?" And then
it's time.
I was disappointed.
It was solid.
Okay, that's good because that ties in to Moon Knight. Why? Wolfman, and that is going to be released in Halloween.
I need to finish up Moon Knight.
Moon Knight is good.
No, I just
in the comics
they got busy.
They are a team. They make a team, and on that team, many people get their powers.
They're moon-based powers. It's like a team full of moon people. I remember.
Yeah.
I love how the MCU is just using everything that they have to give us such an experience. Like if you notice, they're not going out their way to pull people and make this work. They're literally like recycling everything that they've once done and just like putting it together to not overwhelm us. And I think that's absolutely perfect. Like they're using same actors. They're just playing off the little nods that they want us to pick up in these little shows. And I think that is so perfect. Because to think about it, you didn't see too much of nobody new. It was just people like, oh, okay, well, if you're going to build the Illuminati.
The right amount of fan service.
Man, it was the right amount of people. It was not, it wasn't well, where did that come from? Well, where did she come from? Well,
what's this from? Why is this here?
You already
Mockingbird is in the top hero here. Squirrel Girl ain't show up out of nowhere. Like, you're right.
There was nothing too left field.
It's all characters that, like, if you are a light fan of Marvel, you'd get. If you're a bigger fan of Marvel, you would get, and if you're a super nerd, you'd absolutely get. So it did reach everyone. Like again, literally when John Krasinski came up and they panned up and saw Fantastic Four and you saw his face, I literally in a crowd full of teenagers am yelling, "What the fuck?" Like, it was a what the fuck, and that laugh, and everyone else started laughing like at that same moment because everyone had the same like what the fuck moment. Like it was
it was very. I did enjoy
and I love how they use the multiverse for like the fan casting as well, because it's not confirmed. We don't know if we're gonna get John Krasinski as
Fantastic Four, but
along
we've
the way,
been talking about it so long.
They at least gave it to us in this little package as some.
Give us Donald Glover Spider-Man. Give us Donald Glover Peter Parker. You fucking cowards.
Right? I feel like they do this just to shut us up. Because why for 4 years we wanted this man to play this role, and then boom, we get Krasinski for just this allotted bit. I feel like they just be trolling us. Like, okay, we'll give it to him.
I'll be honest with you.
We'll give it to him in the multiverse and then kill him off, and then we'll find us a new Reed Richards.
I think it's all by design. I think Reed Richards is going to be the Fantastic Four movie is supposed to come out next November. They got that shit cast. They got all that shit down already. They just ain't telling us.
No. So it's likely the guy we saw.
I bet you everyone they had in cost, they ain't paying John Krasinski enough money to come and just do a less than 10 minutes.
Just to come, put on a costume and get unraveled. Right. I didn't just come.
2 minutes? 2 minutes. That's it.
Yeah. Go away from directing your own very successful Quiet Place movies or whatever the fuck he's doing now.
Right. Get away from that. 2 minutes.
Yeah, go leave your HBO Warner safety contract to come do this for less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time they showed him and the time they all died, it was less than.
He was playing like not Jack Reacher. He was doing some other spy shit on Amazon Prime. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
he had his own show. Yeah.
So, did you all hear when Reed Richards was talking to Wanda? Remember, he said,
"Yes,
I have a family."
No, I have children.
Yes,
yeah, I have children.
I remember that.
Richard is yes, we got little Richard.
So another crazy thing here. So Reed Richards, John Krasinski, is a great granddaddy of He Who Remains. So that means Jonathan Majors, Kang the Conqueror, is John Krasinski's
great grandson.
Yeah.
Or great grandson.
Okay. Listen. Okay. So we started talking about
like this thread if we want to.
No, there's a lot of things here. All right. A lot of things that here because there's a lot of things that are brought up as concepts in the Multiverse of Madness that change the context of a lot of things we've seen in the past. The one thing about your dreams being you seeing an alternate version of your other universes. Think about all the times we've seen dreams, visions, or anything of that nature in the universe. Going all the way back to Tony Stark seeing the world,
Man, when he first
why he had the Ultron, when he built the shield. So going back to the dreams of like the child Peter Quill, like just Guardians of the Galaxy, some of his like dreams. So it's really interesting to see all of this, especially because we know like the realm of dreams and dream walking. So conceivably, WandaVision 2 could just be us going to classic moments and her dream walking in them. Like the possibilities of what WandaVision 2 could be is gonna be nuts.
It's insane.
As well as Vision flying off somewhere in a quest for more knowledge and
self-realization. We still don't know what he's doing.
And in all of that, Wanda did not even try to find
him. Oh God! These are like, let him be great. Let him be great. He'll be back.
Died. I'm good.
I think she just went for he a robot. He'd come back. I couldn't turn him on.
She like, that's not my man. She like, that's not
Right?
my man. So I don't know who
My
that
battery,
is.
my battery's charging. It's cool. I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm a grown woman. Shout out to moms.
Shout out to moms.
moms.
And you know what's crazy? That they, and I'm finna bring this full circle. It's crazy the you actually see the depths that a mother would go. Like, you could play that now. How many mothers you would know, given the same opportunity as one, that would have took that dark hole, stored up somewhere with a bottle of Zinfandel, and been like, all right, I'm finna do the same thing.
I'm gonna figure this out.
I'm finna figure this out. My man gone, my children gone, but I got this book in it. Up, there they go. I'm finna go right. Sip the bottle.
Not just there they go, but there they go.
There they go.
There they go. And there they go. I have so many options.
But even that realization of, damn, they're happy in every universe, but this one is kind of fucked up.
It is,
right? Like you said that her universe was the only one where like they didn't exist
at all.
And then
Which
I mean,
is
also,
just steady telling her, like, no, you never, like, you know how they were coming at Wanda. You never had
like,
children.
You never had
Wanda.
children.
Get
like,
over
just here.
They were never
just
yours.
Here.
Yeah.
Just here.
I think that's
Let me
what
show you the
fueled it even
pages.
more. I
that's
feel like
why-
that's what fueled it even more. You can't just keep telling no woman I don't have no children, and then she look in a dark book. Oh, they all over the place. Y'all the ones tripping.
Yeah.
Y'all, it's okay. I'll show you. I'll show you where they at. Come with me. Check it out.
I mean, that's what she did with Wong. She literally dragged him and made him. Yo, shout out to Wong though. Like,
really, shout out to Wong.
Real Sorcerer Supreme.
The guy that, because we just rewatched Doctor Strange and No Way Home in the last like 2 days. So for him to be just like such a small bit character in the first Doctor Strange to where he is now, bro.
Both also being in Shang-Chi.
Dude, I was a little disappointed. I was kind of hoping some Shang-Chi would get pulled in here. I was hoping some of the newer stuff that we'd seen Wong be involved in would be pulled in here. None of that happened, which is fine. But Wong needs his own movie. I think we either need the Wong show or the Wong.
They do need a Wong show because he is bouncing around, and he could probably bring so many threads together.
Well, even if it's just imagine this, it's a 6 episode limited series, and it's just the Fight Club from Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay.
That'd be fun.
That's it. Just like a tournament.
Like, why is he there? What's he looking for? You know?
Yeah. Why is the Sorcerer Supreme hosting illegal underground fight clubs?
Hosting or even participating in it? Because I think he has an advantage. That's all I'm going to say.
Because he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it's like, why?
And even in the Shang-Chi episode, it was a pro wrestling thing where he's like, "Homie, I'm sorry, I had to sell that last punch. I had to get you." And he's like, "It's all good. Let me get my paycheck and roll." Like, it was even like it seemed like it was scripted. You know what I mean? Like.
I would say Wong makes a very safe Sorcerer Supreme over Doctor Strange. So if he wants to hold a fight club over causing insurgencies and missing in the dark arts, let Wong be great, because we already see what Doctor Strange does without the title of Sorcerer Supreme. Like, they played that a lot. Like they really put him in perspective. Like, bro, look, you just do you at a certain point.
No, I mean,
just do you.
Yo, even the whole like it's ancient custom to bow to the Sorcerer Supreme.
Not
that
once the whole
was exactly
movie.
what you're talking about. As like
Not once in the whole movie. Even at the end, when he was just like, he just got this. That's it.
And that's the beautiful thing. They wrote this on a level that if you've seen every Marvel movie, every Marvel show, even the shitty ABC ones, they got something for you.
Hey, Shield was
good. I still love Agents of Shield. Don't do that.
Shield was good.
Just I did like the fact that this Darkhold is a copy, because the Shield episode dealing with the Darkhold, like all of that stuff was very.
Which did she actually get rid of all the Darkholds? Because
yes.
Did she? Because for like, does it mean like, because it's an energy thing, and from said energy you can write the spells. Once you have that energy in you, could you not then inverse the Darkhold and then recreate
I mean,
it? I.e.,
that is the
Doctor
teaser.
Strange has an eye, and it's just like, cool, I can remake the Darkhold.
That's the post-credits theory,
So,
But like it was after the first credits, they like the mid.
Oh,
mid
yeah,
credits.
it is post-credits. Yeah.
But however, the thing about that you're saying is that it confirmed that she destroyed all the Darkholds in the universe because remember the Darkhold he was trying to study from.
Mm-hmm.
So
went away. I thought that was another universe.
That was the whole thing.
It was another universe because she destroyed them all across the multiverse.
Right.
So I thought she just destroyed. Right.
Okay.
Except for anything that may be inside of you may have that. If that makes sense.
Right.
So I thought she just destroyed Manticore from that universe. I played on with because I don't feel like they're just all completely gone. I feel like she destroyed like the original text.
Yeah.
So it can't be
She did
copied.
both,
right.
She did both though. Because later on as like Doctor Strange and the love interest, Christine, that's her name. Yeah. When they were chatting and he's like, I want to show you my world. And she's like, yeah, that'd be great. And then like, he's like looking at the Darkhold and is like, I tasted this. I don't want to do this. And then it exploded as he was trying to dig into it to find the cure back. And so he's like, oh, looks like she's destroyed him in all the universes, which again, this is a one single line that was said. I don't think it was really focused on, but I think it was because it was said. But what America Chavez's actual powers are, they haven't really dug into. I did love the fact that just star punches is just dope as fuck.
Even multiverse punch.
Well, even when the punch didn't break through reality and like she just broke through glass, like it was still that like dope ass star implant. I don't know. I just there's something cool about that effect to me. Was just like, hey, this is dope. I also love the use of colors for the magic and stuff. Our Doctor Strange has had orange the whole time, but when he fought the other Doctor Stranges, they had blues and purples.
The blues and purples.
Like,
I like that fight, by the way.
I did too. One of the things about the Doctor Strange movies, both of the ones that exist so far, they always end kind of anticlimactically for Doctor Strange. It's always more of like a conversation than like a battle, and it's always been against himself, right? Because he played Dormammu, and then this time he literally fought himself. So I think that's going to be a thing.
Dormammu thought, in my perusals since I've seen the movie, supposedly Dormammu may be an alternate reality version of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Actually, you kind of touched on this earlier with our mid-credit spoiler thing that happened, where Charlize Theron popped out and was like, "Hey, come help us solve these equations if you want."
I'm so and so. I'm going to be in the next movie. Let's go.
Unless you're scared.
Didn't answer.
Question.
No,
I thought
like that's just the energy.
I thought Dormammu was her father in the comic.
It's her uncle.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Dormammu is some relation to her.
Yeah, she's Dormammu's niece and Doctor Strange's wife.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know where it's gonna go, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get Doctor Strange 3 in like 6 years when we're in the next phase, because that's what he does. The single, like the solo Doctor Strange movies are made for you to get him and then be a pivot point for the rest of it. His strengths are when he shows up in other people's stuff, not necessarily his own.
Not him. Yeah.
Spider-Man
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Infinity War, Endgame.
Yeah.
Literally empowering others, because again, he's Sorcerer Supreme. You feel?
Which is why I feel like, again, I think they did a really good job with themes in this one. The whole theme of like you always have to be the one to hold the knife was like a big theme throughout this thing. But I feel like his whole thing is him trying to help teach other people how to hold the knife in different ways. But at the end of the day, he does have to be the one to do it. He did have to be the one to save the day in No Way Home at the end of it all. He's the one with all the answers. And I did think that was such a good, like, yes, he has to be the one to hold the knife, but at the same time, if he gave anyone else the knife, what would happen?
Be able to make that decision. Man.
Exactly.
They wouldn't be able to.
It was real heavy. Like, it's one of those movies that for sure I got to see probably. I'm probably going to go see it again, except this time in 3D, IMAX.
That would make the opening part so much fun.
Yeah,
I missed the wedding. I missed like the first 30 of it. So the dream and I got in right at the wedding reception.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's when everything kicked off. Okay, yeah. Also, like, it's a little weird to marry like a super fan of your ex.
It's also weird to go to your ex's wedding.
Oh God!
Also, is it? I think that's the thing. I think people get invited to exes' weddings a lot.
It depends on how it ended, but I think that the thing about this that makes it both more weird and less weird is that homie was gone for 5 years. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
True.
True, because technically, because he got snapped. That was like an instant.
He got snapped,
and he did get snapped. Strange did get snapped.
And so like, what's her face has to move forward and move on, and
But again, Strange being like the evil is Strange being like, I've been through every timeline and none of them I'm with her. It's like, damn.
Oh yeah, and they definitely say in there like all the multiverse Stranges are essentially the same at their core.
Yeah. And his whole what if episode was him trying to get Christine back, and there's like it's the moment like you have to lose Christine, otherwise you never become Doctor Strange. So it's just cool how it all ties in together.
Isn't that strange though? How that's the one constant in all the multiverse universes. He has to lose her.
That's his constant. I think each
he is still within a multiverse of madness.
But everyone where he exists, that's his constant.
Yeah, no, there's timelines where Stephen Strange is doing it, but Doctor Strange, as we know him, does not exist. And Stephen Strange, the surgeon, can't really do anything to help this cosmic.
Anyone, because his hands are busted.
Even himself, yeah. But we got any final thoughts on the Multiverse of Madness before we give our recommendations and head out so we can spend time with our moms? Shout out to the moms.
Go see more Sam Raimi. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but was also like, this is all curveballs for me because I haven't seen that much Raimi. And I think that's my takeaway from it. It's like, see more Sam Raimi and his directing style.
For sure, it was great. I'll go ahead and touch on that. Sam
great.
Raimi, because Sam Raimi is great. He's actually perfect for this role because he has established his name in horror comedy, the Evil Dead series,
right.
all of that stuff. But he also really, arguably, established the superhero, the superhero trilogy as a movie form. I know that technically X-Men came out first, but he did the Tobey Maguire trilogy. That was all Sam Raimi. That's why Bruce Campbell was on all those. That's why Bruce Campbell coming in as a cameo.
That's why he was in there.
So fun,
man, if it's Sammy, right? He's like, if it's Sammy, I'm in.
Yeah, and there may be even a rumor that he's going to play a bigger role in a different part of the universe, Bruce Campbell. So it's just really cool. If you're not a Sam Raimi fan or not familiar with him, I highly recommend it. Everything he does is like very intense and like to what the genre is, but it also has a sense of humor that's like doesn't take away from it.
Very camp.
Yeah,
but the camp feels intentional. Yeah. Like that is the style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Which is again why I want to see more Sam Raimi. So. No, you haven't seen that yet. That's more of a Moon Knight thing.
No, I think like my big takeaway from the Multiverse of Madness is if you're someone that's avoided the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is not a good place to start.
No.
I'll just go off and say that.
Wow.
Like, this should not be your but I do think if you're someone that's maybe watched a handful of movies here, watched a handful of movies there, you really followed one character storyline or so, this may not even be for you. It'll be enjoyable if you know the comic books, but I really think that
the only way is if it's WandaVision. That's when you came in.
It might work.
Yeah,
but I do think that if you're just, I feel both happy and this. It's brilliant, right? If you're someone who's in the high schoolers right now, they have the best Spider-Man. They have a such cooler Spider-Man than we had in high school. I think that they're this. I know a lot of people have their feelings about representation and stuff like that, but the moment I saw America Chavez kind of do her thing, I was just like, yeah, I want to see more of this character. When I saw before the movie, they had the trailer for the Miss Marvel series, and this a brown girl from Jersey is not supposed to save the world. I was like, yeah, go get it, brown girl from Jersey. So for me, in mine, I'm very much I'm really excited for the future and where they're gonna go with it. But at the same time, the having Professor X as Patrick Stewart as Professor X, that's a throwback to our generation. That's a throwback to us.
It's also a throwback to the future because X-Men 97 is soon to be released.
Shut the fuck up. Where's the?
We're almost there.
Yeah,
we all
but
gonna watch it. That's all.
But the last thing we need right here is what last question I'm gonna ask each of y'all. So I want each of y'all to give me an answer. Where are we going in the multiverse now? After this episode, like after this movie, where do you see it going? I'll start off with you, Mylon. Where are you seeing this go?
That movie touched on so much. I would have to say now. I don't know if they gonna have. I don't know if they have to go back down street level to like even it out.
Right.
But keep it like main Avengers Observatory like stance where we're at. Like we have to see it through the eyes of an Avenger. I don't even know where they would pick up a point of view from there. So that's why I say for me, I'd say they'd have to go down to like the street level comic book characters to make some type of to level the playing field. You know, like all of that just happened outside of 616. So I think their next approach is just like draw it back, if that makes any sense, like bring it back, because like the next big outer thing we have is what, Guardians and then Thor. So it's still a lot of things, right? So there's still a lot of things away from us. So I think now they probably gonna go back down to the street level.
Actually, I think the next one is Thor, and
Miss Marvel.
Good.
Miss Marvel, the Miss Marvel show. That's
okay.
Miss Marvel show. But then again, that's street level, but that's also an intro. Like that's
intro. That's a great place to
But that's kind of where we're at too, though, because like at the end of Spider-Man, No Way Home, it was him going back. No Stark tech, just a boy in his like homemade suit
in a suit,
police scanners, chasing police scanners. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is another reason I thought it was funny that Doctor Strange was doing that street level stuff at that first, but it makes sense that it was like an invisible magic eyeball.
After that, he's around. You know, he saw it.
Yeah, but like but you bring up a great point. Like, how is Sam Wilson's Captain America gonna fight wizards? Like we already saw like the one Captain America get cut in half by Wanda. So like,
oh my god,
that was amazing. I loved and hated it.
I loved it because she pulled my man's line, and then 2 seconds afterwards, like, no, you can't. No, the hell you can't. You better leave that for the man. You better leave that line for the man that's in the eye. I said it during the movie theater. She was like, "Oh, I could do this all day." No, you can't.
I cheered real hard when she said that.
No, you can't.
I would have died laughing if you said that immediately. I'd be like, "No, you can't." And then
you can't. Man, okay. All right.
And then immediately was like, "I told you."
So, as soon as this shit, I was like, threw my hands up.
Okay, all right. I think I got my answer here. I think our next venture into the multiverse is gonna be when we see Kang again and in Quantumania.
Okay.
And that may even bring back in Loki and like whatever multiverse dimension he's in, because that's how we left off with his series. And you know what? When I saw the movie, there was someone who like in the group I saw it with that like didn't like the movie because Loki wasn't featured in it, and I'm just like, exactly,
yeah, exactly. I echo that exact same thing.
And I'm like,
has nothing.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, I mean,
yeah, T'Challa's not in the movie. I hate it. There's no black people in the multiverse, is there? Huh?
I know you said that.
If they decided to put Loki in there, that would have added at least another 45 minutes to this movie, not an hour. And it's just like you don't need any of that.
It's like, why?
Like Loki is dealing with Kang and like that whole thing, like that'll be addressed in I'm assuming Quantumania and whenever we're getting Loki season 2.
It's gonna be interesting because we're gonna have a Thor movie without Loki. Maybe.
Yeah.
No,
the best part of the Thor movie.
Maybe
that is what's like. I think Thor is going to take us big again, right after we do Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's going to keep a street level, and then once we get to Thor, it's going to be a bigger.
I think intergalactic.
I think it's the opposite. I think Thor is going to take this because it's going to take him and bring it back down. So Thor is going to go from he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy in space. Because remember, all of Asgard's in a small Norwegian town.
It's in a small little town, right? Okay.
So I think it's going to take it from the universe to this small Norwegian town. So it's going to bring it back to Earth, bring it back down to Earth. God, that's going to be a
God
fucking
killer
theme,
after
isn't
him in this movie.
What's up?
He's still got a God killer after him in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. And it's Christian Bale, so it's
Christian Bale finna be on his ass. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that looks wild.
Christian Bale finna be on his ass.
But yeah, man. So
Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah, Gore. Yeah. So I'm thinking. My point of view is there's so much stuff going on in the MCU, right? Like I haven't finished Moon Knight. Apparently, there's a tie with Mount Wondergore. That's going on there.
It's a loose tie.
It's right. Yeah.
It's a loose tie because it's a future series that's unannounced. It's going to drop in October.
No, for sure. I mean, Echo's in the works. I actually recently helped a friend with an audition for Echo.
Wow, that's cool.
And so I know that they got all this stuff going on. That even the line when Strange first ran into Wanda and he goes, "Yeah, there's other." She goes, "There's other Avengers." He's like, "Yeah, between the guy with the mohawk, the archer with the mohawk, and a handful of bug theme heroes, I'm gonna go with the strongest magician." Which again, very funny line.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do think that so much is going. After Tony Stark died at the end of Endgame, a lot of different new threads started, and I think I need to start seeing some of them come together. Right? I thought Hawkeye was great. I really want to see the Kate Bishop. I want to see Eli. We need to do something that makes them come together, and that's what our next move is. I know a lot of people are saying that we're gonna probably build the Secret Wars. So essentially what it is, if you watch Loki, He Who Remains broke it all down. What we're about to see, everyone's gonna do the universe to get in contact with each other. First, it's peaceful. Then there's going to be a big war where all the universes are fighting each other. So I think we're going to get. I think within the next 4 or 5 years, we're going to get Scarlett Johansson. We're going to get Robert Downey Jr. We're going to get Chris Evans all back, if not as the same versions of themselves as other alternate universe versions to fight versions of themselves. There's too much money. I wouldn't even be surprised if they start forking out the money to get Edward Norton and Terrence Howard back. I think we're gonna. I think that
Why'd you put that in? Why'd you put that in the universe? We're
gonna have a separate universe where Tom Cruise is Iron Man, Terrence Howard is War Machine, and we're all having a good time.
No, we're not. We don't need that.
I feel like it's gonna be I feel like they kept talking about incursions, and now you just said right now that you said that they're interacting with one another. I feel like the Ultimate Universe is gonna merge with Oz, and then boom, Miles Morales is just gonna pop through, become from animated to real life.
I think the Spider-Verse is gonna be its own thing. It's not the Spider-Verse is gonna be. Yes.
Yeah,
but wouldn't that be a great? But think about it. Wouldn't that be a great way to drop Miles Morales in our world? You feel me? Because they're already dealing.
That's exactly how it happened in the comics.
That's exactly what they did in the comics, and they never go exactly word for word. It doesn't happen.
No, I mean I'll say this: that I agree that there will be Miles Morales comes into our world as we know him, but then as he leaves, a child, young Miles Morales sees him and is like, oh, you know what I mean? I don't know, because it's that thing too. Again, just because I just watched Homecoming, at the end of Homecoming, after all the credits, Venom is in our world and he blips back, but that bit of goo still there.
Right.
And that bit of goo is going to have to probably come back, and we're going to have some Venom story. I think when we get back to Spider-Man, I hope we have a Black Cat. We do the Spider-Man and Black Cat kind of storyline for the next trio. That's for Spider-Man. For Shang-Chi, I'm interested in seeing how this goes, because in my mind, he teams up with Luke Cage and they do the Heroes for Hire thing. And just have him replace Iron Fist in that. Makes a lot of sense. Would be cool.
Yeah.
We get that cool 70s the Asian Peril Black Panther connection that we had, and just really lean into that Wu-Tang black culture kung fu vibes together. That'd be the dopest thing if I could have a say or make anything. That's what I would do. Especially because Shang-Chi already has the hip hop flavor, and they could just kind of call out Awkwafina, and then kind of get her right back into what she's doing. But have that moment of being like, oh, so you like our culture but not our people. All right, let's get back to it.
I think we should save that for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, because they're going to have to go to Harvard and just have them cross paths for some reason.
Oh, yes. Bumping into each other in class or something. Oh.
Yeah, Wakanda Forever. I mean, Wakanda Forever is going to be the whole thing too. There's so many great things that are about to come out, and that's why I'm like, I think the next big Avengers level event that's going to get that title, it has to be the Incursion, right? Like we all agree that it has to be them all coming together after the Incursion. Something happens where all of the universes merge, and then that's when we start getting John Krasinski's Fantastic Four teaming up with.
I was just finna say his son just makes a pocket universe. He's just like, you know what? There we go.
But that is kind of one thing that Laura was saying, that none of these Marvel movies really matter at the end of the day because they keep getting reset. And I'm like, no, it's not the case. But after watching this movie, I was like, no, they reset Wanda back to where she was pretty much. Like none of this matters because it all got kind of resolved. And then they kind of did the tease where they tore open the fabric of space and time and they're about to go back in the dark dimension. But it's just like, at the end of No Way Home, was the same thing that he wanted at the end. Everyone forgot who he was. Everything kind of reset, and ultimately the stakes were gone. And again, I wanted to leave a while ago so we can get out of here, but the way that they even handled Spider-Man in this was very interesting. So they don't remember who Peter Parker was because that's what the wish was, but they all knew who Spider-Man still was. But America's like webs from his butt, which again, every time they make that joke, any kind of spider web out of your butt joke,
it's always good.
It's like a natural curiosity.
She's met them, or is at least aware of Spider-Man exists because she's gone around. And
no, she didn't know who Spider-Man was. She's like, what? So he has like the skills of a spider?
Yeah, she was asking about him. Like, okay, what? He's a spider?
So he doesn't
exist. But Doctor Strange, like, because again, we just watched it yesterday. He forgot who Spider-Man was. So they forgot who Peter Parker is, but Spider-Man's still doing his thing. So
right. Well, that's a very small touch. That's very nice.
Yeah, a lot of those little moments in there. I will say this. Ever since No Way Home, I'm disappointed anytime we go to the Chimertage or anything sorcery and Ned is not being trained up or doing it. But I think it's necessary I think it's necessary because he's going to become the Hobgoblin, and he made that promise that he's not going to betray his best friend, and he's going to do it. So
he's not his best friend anymore.
Exactly.
Right, you don't know him.
I don't know you.
You don't know.
I don't know you. Who you? I don't know you. Here's smoke.
And then him and Jane are friends, and you already know he gonna feel some type of way.
Oh, yo, they about to go to college together, my dude. You're in a brand new state, and I don't know anybody here but you. And it's hard because I'm at fucking MIT or whatever. So, come on, Ned.
And the tech he's going to make. Can we just take a pause? The tech that man is going to make at MIT, what? Spider-Man gonna be raw. He's going to develop in college. Watch what I tell you. What I tell you.
Well,
think about what he was doing with Stark Tech on his own. Now he's getting the knowledge from MIT. Oh yeah, he gonna be at home. You're gonna see all types of gear.
But that's another fun thing is that from where this sets up, they're going to be gone. Boston is not in New York City where he is hunkered down. So he'll be away from MJ and Ned for X amount of time too. So anything's possible. Again, this all is very exciting. I do need to go.
Mary Jane meets Riri and the new Black Panther. Oh, it's going to happen.
We don't know.
You know what, guys? Shout out to moms.
Shout out to the moms. You know what? I usually get everyone's recommendations. Also, because it's Mother's Day, there was a reason they dropped that movie this weekend. Just I want to throw that out there too.
I'm telling you, man.
But I can finally close this off because we are done talking spoilers. And just to give you all, we usually do our recommendations and everything, but just for the sake of time, I'm just going to recommend you get off of our stream. You go find your mother. Go talk to her. If you're unable to go hang out with your mother, go do something that reminds you of positive memories with your mother. Whether that's cooking your mom's favorite meal, trying to find an old recipe from a cookbook. There are still ways to connect with your mothers, your loved ones, the strong female presences in your life. And if you don't got any of those, I cannot be your mother. Father's Day, I'd say hit me up. I can pretend to be your daddy, but I'm not going to say that tonight. All right, I ruined the moment. Y'all have a great day. Another Anime Club. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We out.
Bye.
バカみたい 子供なのね夢を追って傷ついて嘘が下手なくせに笑えない笑顔見せた I love you もろくに言わない口下手でほんまに不器用なのにどうしてさよならは言えたのダメだねダメよダメなのよあんたが好きで好き